Creep Night, sure to leave a tingle down your spine. Welcome to Creep Night. In this episode, we're gonna find out what lurks in the dark. Halloween was always my favorite holiday. I really enjoyed it. All the treats, all the tricks you could play. Susie and I decided we were gonna go trick-or-treating this year. Since it was our last year of trick-or-treating, we decided we were going to go down each block and get as much candy as we can. My parents gave us the usual, be home when the street lights come on. We already knew this. This was nothing new. They gave us the spiel of don't talk to any strangers, which I think is a little ridiculous because, let's be honest, it's Halloween. You're going to be knocking on strangers' doors all the time. And they're going to give you candy. Then they gave us the spiel of don't eat anything until you get home so we can check it. But being kids, you know we're not going to listen. Susie and I had just gotten up the block to our first house, and they were giving out king-size candy bars, and I was really excited about this because you don't normally see this happen very often. So this was definitely one of the houses we loved to go to every year. After that, it seemed like we were hitting a lot of houses that only give out small pieces of candy. And usually not the ones that you want to eat. The third house, well, they gave us dental floss. Who gives out dental floss on Halloween? This is supposed to be the one year that us kids don't have to worry about hygiene, like brushing your teeth. This is the night that we can eat all the candy that we want. Anyways, we left that house. Obviously, we were not sticking around to get more dental floss. Susie and I hit the corner. The forbidden corner. This was the biggest rule our parents gave us. To never, ever go to the Clare house. The Clare house was a very old house that was falling apart, but their reasoning was it was haunted by a Mrs. Clare. The story goes that one Hallows Eve, she killed her husband in the basement. None of us really took this story seriously, so when we walked up to the house, to poke phone, of course, we rang the doorbell. Ding, ding, dong. No one answered. We waited for like 5 minutes, and still no one came to the door. So we decided we were going to go look through the windows and see if anyone had actually been there. When we looked through the first window, there was a small little light. We couldn't tell exactly what it was, nor where it was coming from. I could hear a little wind. But I didn't really think anything of it. I mean, it was just natural wind. And these old houses, I guess, tend to make those kinds of noises. So it didn't scare us. But when we went to the second window, we noticed a shadow. And this time, we heard a voice. Swing, chop, chop. Swing, chop, chop. We figured it was one of the teenagers. They wanted to scare us. We were kids, so we were easy targets. The shadow seemed to get closer, and this time we decided maybe it was a good idea to get away from this house. So we ran off of the porch and down the street. Jenny, who do you think that was? Jenny looked back at me, and then she said, well, come on. It's probably one of the teenage girls named Jess. We shrugged it off and continued trick-or-treating, until we noticed halfway through the night we kept hearing We would stop and turn around, but no one was there. It wasn't until the second time we heard it that we had noticed something following us. It was the shadow. It was making movements like it was holding something familiar, something I've seen before, an axe. And it kept saying, swing, chop, chop, swing, chop, chop, swing, chop, chop. And at this point, we knew it wasn't a teenager, because when the shadow got closer, it took on a form of a woman, a gray hair, green-eyed woman, and her eyes seemed to glow in the dark. We started to run, but as you could tell, we weren't fast enough. And this is where I need to tell you the sad, horrible news that we are now a part of Mrs. Clare's house forever. Thank you for listening to Creep Night, sponsored by Pizarro.com.